Hello friends, welcome to Daring Marana YouTube channel. Today we will be discussing about lube oil test. So let's discuss about the kind of lube oil test that we can done on board. Okay, there are three types of lube oil test that we are normally done on ship. They are drop test, viscosity test and water content test. Okay, mainly we are doing drop test, viscosity test and water content test. Okay, so drop test means take a drop of lube oil from the sample and put it on filter paper. That means take a drop of lube oil and put it in a sample of filter paper. Okay, here we can say take a drop of sample and put it on a filter paper, then wait till the filter paper absorb the oil. Okay, that means filter paper get dry, then absorb the oil. If the stain on the filter paper is light and clear, it indicates the oil is fresh and can be used. Okay, if the stain on the filter paper is light and clear means it indicates that oil is fresh and can be used. Here means new filter paper, new oil will have shade like this. If good, you can monitor, we can be used. Bad means their stain is too much. If stain is lighter, that indicates oil is fresh and can be used. Here it shows the quality of the oil that we can show in a filter paper. Okay. If the stain is uniformly dark, it indicates the oil is in use for some time and can be used. Okay. It is uniformly dark means oil is in use for some time, but it can be used. If the stain is very dark, indicates that oil should be renewed at the earliest opportunity. That means otherwise it is not good. It is almost already damaged. Okay. If the stain is very dark means it should be renewed and at the earliest opportunity. If the oil is contaminated with diesel or water, the stain will not be uniform. Okay. If the oil there is contaminated with diesel oil or water, the stain will not be uniform. The center will be dark and the periphery will be light. Okay. If there is oil or diesel, if there is water or diesel in the oil, then the stain will not be uniform. The center will be dark and periphery will be light. Okay. Here means if the stain is uniformly dark, it indicates the oil is in use for some time and it can be used. If the stain is very dark means it indicates oil should be renewed and as earliest as possible. Okay. If oil is contaminated with diesel oil or water, the stain will not be uniform. The center will be dark and periphery will be light. Okay. So next one is viscosity test. In viscosity test, the flow of sample is compared with the flow of fresh oil. Okay. Here we are discussing means flow of a sample will be compared with the flow of a fresh oil. Okay. Here we can say low, normal and high, fresh oil and sample oil. Okay. If the difference in the levels between tubes are negligible, then lube is good. You can use it for some time. Okay. If the flow difference between the lube oil and the fresh oil are good or almost negligible, then we can say lube is good and you can use it for some time. Okay. If the level is two readings either too high or too low indicates contamination, then change the lube oil immediately. If the level in two sample reads either too high or too low means it indicates contamination, then change the lube oil immediately. Here are two scenarios. It is too high or too low, we can say you can change the lube oil immediately. Then water test kit. Water test kit usually can be seen in the board of the some of the respiratory makers. In my ship vessel and all, we are using uniter based water test kit. Water test kit, it is used to measure the water content in lubricant. Okay, water test kit is used to measure the water content in lubricant. Okay, here it is water test reagent. Water test kit is used to measure the water content in the lubricant. So take a small quantity of the lubricant to be tested along with dry solvent and calcium hydride in a vessel. Okay, what we can do is take a small quantity of lubricant to be tested along with a dry solvent and calcium hydride in a vessel. Calcium hydride react with water producing hydrogen gas. The calcium hydride will react with water will produce hydrogen gas. The pressure displayed on the gauge is proportional to the percentage or ppm of water present in solvent. The pressure displayed on the gauge is proportional to the percentage or ppm of water present in solvent. The gauge can display water content from 10 to 1,20,000 ppm for or 5 range. Okay. Take a small quantity of lubricant to be tested along with dry solvent and calcium hydride in the vessel. Okay. That means like a small quantity of the lubricant that we need, lube oil that we need to test it along with a dry solvent and a calcium hydride in a vessel. Okay. Then calcium hydride react with water. They will produce hydrogen gas. This calcium hydride react with the water will produce hydrogen gas. Pressure displayed on the gauge is proportional to the percentage of ppm of water present in solvent. Okay. Here the pressure displayed on the gauge is proportional to the percentage of ppm of water present in solvent. The gauge can display water content from 10 to 1,20,000 ppm or 5 ranges. Here means the gauge, the pressure gauge. Here it can dictate the water content about 10 to 1,20,000 ppm or 5 ranges. Here is how we can dictate the Lube test that we can done on ship. Thank you.